Glendale City Library. My name is Carlos, this is Anime Your Way, and today we're going to be drawing an anime character from scratch using step-by-step instructions and some easy to understand concepts. So let's get started. The materials you'll need are pencil, 8.5 by 11 paper, a CD or a DVD, a ruler, and any of your favorite art materials. So what you're going to do is take your 8.5 by 11 paper and place your CD on the center of the paper and slide it up slightly towards the top. Then go ahead and trace the outside of the CD and make a dot right in the middle. Now you should have something that looks like that. The next thing you're going to do is get your ruler and make a line that goes straight down the middle of the circle and pretty far down below the circle. Now let's talk about the different parts of the face. The top of the circle is going to be the top of the head for your character, the bottom of the circle is going to be where the nose sits, and below that is going to be the chin. Now for this size of a circle, you're going to want about 2 inches of space for the chin. Now if you don't have a ruler, all you have to do is use 3 fingertips, which is about 2 inches. So if you're using a CD or a DVD, you're going to put 3 fingers under the bottom of the circle along the axis line and make a dot at the very bottom of the 3rd finger, and that should be about 2 inches. Now since this circle is larger than the ones you are working with, I'm going to use 5 fingers. So the larger the circle you start with, the larger the measurements are going to be all around. Let's erase everything under that dot. Next, let's draw 2 lines. One that goes across the circle in the middle of it. Make sure it looks perpendicular to the axis line. The second line will go below the circle. Make sure these 2 are parallel to each other. And next we'll draw the jaw lines. So the jaw lines sit at the edges of the face and come down to the chin line and come into the chin. So we're going to put the ruler on this edge or this edge to begin with. You can angle them inward slightly, but don't cross inside the circle. Draw it down until it crisscrosses the line that goes across. Repeat the same step, but flip it over on the other side. And erase all the excess lines you don't need on the edges. So now you should have a corner and another corner here and the chin point. The next thing we do is connecting the dots. And now we have the beginning of an anime face. The next thing we're going to do is get your eraser and erase the line that we just drew across the face under the circle. So if you want a rounded jawline instead of a pointed jawline, you're going to use the pivot of your wrist and hold your fingers and pencil steady and create a smooth curve just by moving your wrist up and down. If you could put the curve of your wrist in between this line and this line, and you can float over both those lines and touch them, you can draw a smooth curve in between them. And then you erase the lines that are left over. And if you want to round out the chin, you can just erase the very bottom of it and curve it across. And now onto the eyes. So you're going to put a finger distance below this line here and make another line below your finger. Now on this drawing, the circle is bigger, so I'm going to use 2 fingers. And it should look something like this. Next, we're going to draw a dot in the middle of this line from here to here. And 1 dot in the middle of this line from here to here. And if you use a CD to draw this, you can use the inside circle and trace it just under that dot. And you'll have a perfect circle sitting in place on this side of the face and a perfect circle sitting in place on this side of the face. If you want to make these ovals, you can draw a line through that circle and draw a capital letter D on one side, flip the paper over and draw a capital letter D on the other side, and you have your oval. And now onto eyelids. I've broken this down into 5 steps. The first one is a line above the eyeball, second one is a line on the inside of the eyeball, third one is on the outside of the eyeball, fourth one is on the outside of the eyeball, and the fifth one is below the eyeball. You can use a line, a curve, or angles to draw these eyelids. As long as you remember these steps, you can change it how you want. Let's try it. Number 1, I'm going to draw above the eyeball. Curved line, curved line. Number 2, a straight line, down like a letter V. Number 3, extend this out. Number 4, bring it down at an angle. And number 5, a line under the eyeball. When you erase the lines around the eyes, you will have your expression. Next, we'll color in the eyeballs. You want to follow a pattern that goes diagonally across the eyeball. So you're going to draw a shape at the top corner, a shape in the middle, and a shape at the opposite bottom corner. Repeat that pattern on the other eyeball. And let's change it up here. So go ahead and fill in the detail for your eyeballs. You can shade in the areas around the shapes you drew. And now let's move on to the eyebrows. The eyebrows are going to follow the same line as the eyelids, just at this line here. They can be above it, on the line, or below it, giving you different expression emotions. If you draw it above the line, it's going to look like more surprise. If you draw it on the line, less surprise. If you draw it below the line, even less emotion. Next, we'll move on to the nose. You can draw a letter V at the bottom of the circle, draw a line across the top of it, shade it in, and that's the simplest way to draw a nose. You can use a line in the middle to draw the bridge of the nose up to the middle between the eyes, and draw a connection to this part of the nose here, and you can shade all of this in, and you have a different type of nose now. You can also just draw the nostrils, which would be this angle here and this angle here, and that's all. Something like this, like that. Once you have the nose in place, let's go ahead and erase the bottom of the circle. And in the space between the nose and the chin, you're going to draw a mouth. So here's something you could do to build up your library of mouths for your characters. Start off with a straight line across this line here, and that has no expression. Add edges to that line going up, and now you have a smile. Bend that middle line up in the middle, and now you have a W. Round out the W, and you have a curved W. All of these mouths here have emotion. They are either positive or happy. If you want to do the opposite, you flip them over. The smile would turn into a frown. W into a scowl, letter M. Rounded W into a rounded letter M. Next, let's draw shapes instead of lines. Let's try a trapezoid. The edges go up from the bottom and outward so it looks happy. Then you can add a zigzag line from the edges towards the middle. And now your character is smiling with their teeth grinning. Flip it over upside down. Use a different shape so the edges go down on the sides. Now your character is frowning. Next, let's draw another shape, happy. And let's draw a rectangle at the top, and a rectangle at the bottom, and a tongue in the middle, a bump that goes across. Shade in everything in the mouth between the tongue and the top row of teeth. And now your character is yelling or laughing with their mouth open. Flip it upside down, and now your character is yelling and angrily yelling with their mouth open. And with some eyes, you can really imagine an angry character yelling. If you want to do a forceful grin, something like what Naruto would do, you would draw something like this, except the edges are going to come out and back in. And then on the top line here, you're going to extend over the horizontal line. And then draw your zigzags for the edges. If you want, draw a greater than sign here, color it in on the inside, and a less than sign on the other side, color that in. Now you have more realistic gaps on the edges of the mouth. Let's fill this space in with one of these mouths, or if you have another idea, you can go ahead and fill it in there. I'm going to do a side smile, so kind of a slanted line across, and then on one side it comes up a little sharper angle upward. You can then erase the line that goes through the mouth and through the nose. Now we're ready to draw the ears. So for the ears, we're going to find the line at the top of the eyeball and make a dot at the edge of the face, and also one at the bottom of the nose, where it comes out on the side of the face there. Then you're going to draw half of a heart. Half of a heart is one anime ear. Start from below this line, come up, touch that line, curve around and down to the bottom. To make it more like an ear, you can then erase the very bottom of it and curve it up into the head. So now you have an earlobe. You can then fill in the lines for your ears. It's best to look in the mirror and take a look at your own details as reference. Next, we're going to put in the neck for the character. You can usually find the neck at the same point location where the eyes are, but on the chin. Make a dot on both of these points here and here, and draw a line straight down from there. When you pass below the chin, you can then start to bring the edges out and branch out to the side of the page. Then we can draw a collar that goes across the shoulders after it bends across this way. You can draw a letter V, or you can curve it. And now for the hair. So what we're going to do is make a dot at the top of each ear if you want short hair very close to the scalp. You're going to curve a line around the top of the head, follow it around. You can adjust it as you go. And if it's short hair, it's going to go past the ear, below it, behind it, and below it, right into here, into the neck. From here it comes out and into the neck. Then you can use this as a guide to draw spikes. And they get smaller as they go to the back there. You can erase the guideline. And on this side, they might point the opposite way. And for the bangs, you're going to start in the middle with a big letter V that curves down. You can curve any direction you want. Then one on the top of the ear right here, curving inward, and erase everything inside of it. And one over here, curving inward. And then just connect this bang with this one here. 1, 2, 3. And on this side, 1, 2, 3. Then erase the original circle you started off with and the line in the middle. You have your character with short hair. Next, what we're going to do is erase the bottom of the hair and put in some long hair for the character. Except if a character has long hair, it's going to spike up less because it's getting pulled down by gravity. So we're going to go ahead and return that circle over the top. And now from behind the ear, it's going to come out at the bottom and go over the shoulder. And now we have the long hair for our character. All right, if you want to do a different type of hairstyle, you can find the top of the forehead and make a part that comes down to the ears. Draw the line straight up through the top of the head, make a letter V at the top. We can draw bangs that come down in front of the ears, all the way down and over the shoulder. And erase everything inside that bang. And then we can start detailing the character, making the eyelids darker, thicker, adding eyelashes, or any other accessories you want. Congratulations on drawing your anime character from scratch. If you want some more insights on drawing the different elements of your character, you can always visit my YouTube page, Anime Your Way on YouTube, and get more clarification on how to draw different types of noses, ears, mouths, and other aspects of your anime character. Until next time, my name is Carlos. This is Anime Your Way. Keep exploring.